Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. So I'm using two small videos that I had, put them together onto this one to make it, and then that right there, that 22:22:7 was going to be the length of it. I don't know if this is going to actually be that length or not, but I wanted to show people because types of things that happen along the way to me doing my things that I do, so that I'm like, all right, I guess I should do it. Like, a lot of times I don't want to do it. or I feel like self-conscious about doing it, or I'm like, I don't know, guys, like, maybe that's just a message for me to know. And they're like, no, it's not, you fucking bitch. How many fucking twos do you need to see? So, this one has been coming in for a while, alright? Also, another funny thing was I've been having crazy things happen with symbols and synchronicities and things like that. So this video that is on here, right, one of the pictures that comes up has like a mountainous symbol. Like it's like a mountain drop, and a little mountain drop. Okay, it was just a symbol that I liked and I put on there. I didn't really think much about it. I wasn't like, oh yeah, this is nice. You know, I don't know, I just did it. But then once I did, I was like, oh. And then then there's another one on there too that's like that but upside down a little bit differently. Okay, still very much similar, like these two things and a little thing. Then the other day, after making that video, I had seen something to do with like palms, okay, reading the palms with the lifeline, okay. And when I looked at mine, I have like 2 lifelines. Okay, so that is my hand. And those are the lifelines there. There's like one, and then there's another one. So basically, yeah, the first thing that first one, I did see that too. It was like, oh, either have a twin or live a double life. I feel like this is also probably significant if you've had a spiritual awakening, or if you maybe did live one life that, you know, feels like a totally different life. I feel like I've had a few like rebirths, not as significant as other times, you know, like the first one that I had was pretty significant, you know, but I do feel like you continue to have them as you go. But I just thought that was a perfect representation. And then there's like these little lines that are on there. I feel like I was running perpendicular here. It's like I had my awakening, but I was still, you know, holding on to who I was. And as I move through life, I'm still getting further away from that version of myself, but I'm still healing parts of what happened, you know? So as I go, that, you know, it's gonna change, and then eventually just be on the other side where it's like, okay, we've healed that, now let's deal with this. And I think these little like indents that are on it at different points, these, you know, lines that run through both, it's almost like you see how this thing impacts you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all these different things. All right, then right here, look at that. Those two little, there's like an M right there. That's supposed to mean something. I don't remember exactly what. I think it's like if you're psychic. I don't know. I can't remember. But I was like, yeah, obviously. So there was a couple of them on there though. I made a fucking picture the other day. Like I drew it, and I was listening to a reading about the year, and it was like the first 3 months is the second 3 months, the, you know, 3 month to get to 12 months. So there was a card for each of those clumps. But within it, there was a part where she was like, yeah, it's like you don't know where you're going, and maybe possibly don't even know what you want to do, or where, like, what you gonna do, where you want to do it. It's like you just don't know. And instead of like trying to figure it out, it's like just do whatever in the moment. Just do one day, just one step, one moment, one action, until you get to the next one, and we're like leaving behind the old versions of ourselves to go to this new version of ourselves. And it's gonna be like the light at the end of the tunnel, or like there's illumination. There's like all of a sudden you're just gonna get it, you're just gonna understand things. And when it was happening, like when I was like seeing these things, I was having all these different epiphanies towards other stuff, some relative to just basically things in my world and all of that. So basically, I feel like though the symbol that I made on this thing, the symbol that I drew, and the lifeline being split like that, these dual things together, it kind of all coincided together. So I don't know. And then I keep getting these messages. I feel like it's a symbol of protection, a symbol to show you that, like, you're not done yet, and there's still, like, the light at the end of the tunnel, or something that you're going to manifest out of this. And now I'm looking, there's 3 little portals and 3 dots. I didn't notice that part before. But I feel like the light is going to come into your life. There's some reason, there's something that you're supposed to do. So, you know, we're going to do it. But, yeah, I don't know. I keep getting messages along this vibration, and I've been getting them for an extended fucking time. Like, a while, man. And I don't like to feed into stuff. I don't give my attention to things that I don't like to create, you know, because I'm like, well, if I focus on that or talk about it or keep thinking about it, then that's going to keep, you know, showing up for me to look at. And I don't like it, so I'm not going to do that. But if you know, and I think it's because I've seen how a lot of people will go with it, or where people maybe want to go with it, and it's not helpful, it's not going to do anything for you to do it. I get it. We can have times where we're going to feel triggered and jealous and mad and angry, or whatever it is that people feel at different times. But just try not to be, just try to understand. When you understand that, like, anybody who's doing anything that's not good, or anybody that does bring pain to you, it's usually a reflection of you in some way, or they're doing something that, like, there's some reason for that person to come in. Sometimes people will come in ways that you don't even really deal with them, but they're still out there. Like, and it sucks because I don't fucking pay attention. I don't care. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm not sitting here, like, doing anything about any person on this planet, because I don't want to. I'm like, I don't want to control anybody. I don't want to fucking hurt anybody. It's not worth it. It's really not. People are dumb, but, you know, we can't save everybody into realizing, like, you're just going to hurt yourself. But they do. So this started, you know, a while back for me, getting these messages, and it's basically just to, like, warn people. I don't usually do it because I feel like there's enough warners, but the level and amount of times and information that just in these last couple of days I've seen shit, it's like, okay, I guess I will bring you my symbol of protection. There you go. And see, like, it looks like they're like, yay, the light is up in the air. And, like, right now it's like, we're going up that mountain. It's hard, it's difficult, man. We got that power in us to get there. We will find our way, okay? We may get there looking totally different, feeling totally different, being a little different, but we will get there. That's part of the fucking purpose. So, karmic complications, divine souls, the souls who know that you have a love that is not common, the ones who were often healing and growing. You may be mature and capable of self-reflection and growth. You are protected, and you have insights, and you are in the know about the many hidden things in our world, and about the people in your life. And you care in ways that others don't. Often I try not to give the energy to these things, and I don't suggest that you do it either. If you watch the readings which bash the people, or discuss all the toxic ways people may be behaving, don't. You may feel, I knew it, or the ego could get a boost listening to a negative, descriptive way a karmic person has been manifesting things. But you are only going to be feeding that reality. You are keeping them around you, or whoever else they are harming, for longer times. That they are obsessed and doing whatever they're doing, and they're sending hate and conflict, and they may mimic or attempt to portray themselves as you, or do things that make no sense. Whatever things they believe your lover loves you for, they have attempted and failed miserably to achieve. They have lied, they have stolen, they have pretended, they have presented false information about themselves and their lives, and their abilities or their strengths. A lot of you, they have repulsed the person that they were trying to attract by doing this. When they present the false things, it just backfires. Sensitive and empathic ones, you may be aware already. Many of you most definitely know more than anyone would ever imagine, and even you doubt it. It is natural, and in this world of illusions, hate, divide, ego, pride, many of us have a default reaction of denial and disbelief of us. It's usually aimed at ourselves. We grew up believing all we were told. No doubt was in us before we were told. When we began to hear contradictions or mixed opinions, or clearly could see differently the appearance, the meaning of some basic things. So if you have intuition and fears, you likely became divided year after year. Some of us chose to fall into the roles implied on our lives from the few with the top roles. Others decided to remain divided and yet simply would hate it, to fit it in, or to feel a part of this world. Only some were able to go into and disable the hold of a hypnotic trance that they have put on us. Not all at once, well, maybe for some, but more likely than not, it was a fine-tuned, maybe took quite a lot. Patience and research, trials and errors. We eventually even became more committed to change ourselves, to go and heal, rising up and out of our karmic homes. In the first stages, you can most definitely be overwhelmed and upset. But more so than this, we also knew we have come for it. Eventually, our research and explore discovered there were more others of us spread all over the world. So excited and fun was it meeting everyone. All the fast, messy typing of me too felt ignited. Only after some months, years, and the pressures of here, we drifted away a little more every day, and not ever really seeing. But it just plays out these ways. The original excitement, that spark of light in this world, and the excitedness, it simmered out of a boil. And the ways of this world, the ways of the souls, set on destroying you, the pain and the trauma of loss and of losing others, the string or the sting of defeat when you go through something like betrayal or the loss of feeling stable. Coming down with a illness of uncertain proportions, seeing the hate in the world and the lack of emotions, so much destroyed and forgotten, so many lives misbegotten. It's harder each day to rise or believe that maybe we might not win this fight. Lessons that we face, traumas, bonding, the realizing and crying, the rebirthing and dying. Not many will ever understand or consider. They cannot compare themselves to that of us sinners. Of course, there are those who will act as if you are some savior or mother, depending upon in the ways like no other. Some you will do and give everything to, teach and allow them closer than most, and it's usually these who eventually hurt us the most. Because of these things we can't see, the karmic inheritance, the energetic interference, the soul and the pain, the clouds in the brain, the will to go on and give yourself again. It becomes less and less often, and then it divides down to none. Alone and sad and depressed and mad, in a place of pain, always feeling drained, numb or frozen, not sure of your direction or movements, lost and uncentered, afraid even at letting the world in. Best foot forward, smile or do nothing, 'cause when you're in pain or when you feel hurt, nobody wants to see it or be reminded. Or people will say that you are just crazy or dumb for whatever reason, and sometimes without one. But please be aware of the description if it fits you. Karmics are not always the bad ones. Karma exists between so many people, so family sits together above. There are monads and levels of thousands of us. Above and below, these beings are present, and we all are here for many reasons. I'm sure at times you have behaved as a source of a pain or difficult lesson for someone. Just depends on the names, and all of us are clearing and healing, and some of us know that there is an overall mission and reason. We may not understand every day. It may not feel good. There could be things at play. There's black magic, and there's white, the light. There's pureness and tainted. There's the good and the great. And then there's the negative and the toxic. Those who cast these spells, they're not aware. They don't understand. It's possible they're just too stupid to understand. The life is in their hands of themselves when they do those spells. If you have struggled at all and you are finding things in your world are seeming to be going in a way that's not common, or if you seem to be endlessly having difficult moments or more than normal, that maybe your luck is a bit not as it was. Every chance that it could, it seems like it doesn't go good. Perhaps it's not anything at all. Could be the mindset that sometimes needs to change. We can attract good and bad. And you may start to believe in the things that aren't actually that. However, some people do also have outside influence from people who have been hell-bent on hurting or sabotaging them. These types of people send nothing but strife. They don't always even know all that they do, but some of them are obsessive of you. They obsess over how they wish that you would feel or be, and sometimes intending these things sent at you and we. Some of them have hired or purchased a service, or they've gotten the tool and they've sent you their curses. Regardless of these ways that it may be, if you have been suffering or finding it worse in a way, the way your life and events seem to be, some of you have put up protection, others of you have been really suffering. The many souls who this will find, you even could have family or friends adding to this life. You can, of course, rise up and out, heal and move on, and get this cleared up. And quickly move from this pain, and then reclaim and replenish and transform again. Break it all, any curses, hexes, or potions and spells and magic and things like that. Sometimes it's not as simple as that. Many have been under these things, these negative, toxic, hate-fueled intentions sent because they are from someone who is jealous of you. And many of you have multiples too. Not only the haters of strangers, but some of you have them close. May need better boundaries, or to keep up a vortex and be regularly calling in the angels. If your home or your space is continuously getting cluttered or dirty, it just feels off, or the energetic may be feeling kind of heavy. You could be suffering with depression, sadness, or pain, loss and grief, clumsiness, or a series of events that just seem to go negative, and they may present in threes. Anxiety, fears, cold, or your appearance being impacted. Stomach pain in your joints and your heads. Certain scents and sounds or various issues. If you have been feeling that the world is stacked against you, or if you feel a certain way which differs than that of your typical you, it's probably not right. Something just doesn't sit inside. You may have already considered this too, that someone is targeting you. Some of you have a divine love who has made mistakes of telling others about you. Others found about you on their own by looking in the phone. Some of them are not even people that they're romantically connected with, and some of your people are aware when they know, and others don't know that they know. And they have given misdirections in some cases, and other times they have simply just coveted and not liked from the outside. Some of them have lied and manipulated or hired out of the range of people that they know. Various reasons and purposes, but typically it wasn't good for you or them, and it's all just been manipulation tactics and lies and just those things that these people try. There's also been some of you have even dealt with these people unknowingly. For those of you who are a reader like me, you may have even given readings to people who know about you. Don't ever underestimate your intuition. Sometimes the crazy things that we wonder or think about are correct, but we just take forever to get there. And I don't think there's ever really been anything that I've wondered when it comes to the twin flame dynamic and the masculine and whatever things that came up in my mind at one time, a little bit of a ooh. It's always come out later on that I was like dead on about it. I've even, had a lot of times where he's himself told me straight up that I was correct about this, that I'm always correct, that I know him better than him. So I know that there's a lot of things that eventually come back up and around, or I'll just have so many confirmations come in about something particular that I'm like, there's no way that that's not a coincidence. But anyways, I also have a thing that I've written out for people who would like to invoke some help if you're dealing with this situation. Archangel Michael. He who is godlike, banish from me all evil spirits, evil spells, all ties and hexes, jinxes or curses in the evil eye. Banish all who are deceitful, jealous, envious, all who have ill intentions. May I always, and we always, be shielded from the negative intentions of others. I am safe and I am protected and I am strong. The purity of my light, the depth of my love, the truth which I say, and the emotions invoked in me, all come from my soul, and all are real for you and me to grow. Safe to be received and safe to be sound, safe to be seen and loved to be around. Brings beauty, warmth, and bliss, and also the mind-blowing sex. Unequal to compare, unforgettable, not even polite to suggest or make aware. Long and deep, strong and sweet, the love you will know by knowing me. By seeing my heart in my chest, the caress I've impressed, the laughing of my belly, the cause that you are funny and cute, and I love you with all, because within me is you, and in you, me. It's eternal love, I'm sure of that, not ever coming a time of me taking it back. Yet I can grow and choose my own soul, and I can love to be received, first and last and all in between. And I'm not above being silent till death. It all depends on how you are. If you can just open up, speak your desires, and if you love and admire, let me know, and invite to my world that you would like to be needed. We never have been mean, and we've never been rude in all the years I've connected to you. We've made mistakes plenty of times, but ultimately, we have been nice. I am tired, I've been uninspired, and I hate to be so oftenly admired, yet you stay silent. And I can feel you when you are gazing my way, and I can sense all the things you don't say. And I'm aware of the passion too, the sex you imagine we give to you. I know you love, I know you like. I know you dream and think of me, right? So if so, Why must it be so hard for you to speak? You know what I feel. You know of my soul. You know of all I'd have given to you. You have allowed fear and doubt to stop us so much, and you never look back. Regardless of this, I still do trust his mind, as I've seen all that he could be, in his love, because it is real, in his opinion, because it mimics and I miss it, and looks at all sizes and clothes. From now till back then, I've always been left with grins. His eyes, 'cause his soul is behind them, his arms because they're strong, and his legs, especially when they're in mine. Hands are electric pulses that he makes, the way that he loves it when I experience an earthquake. The voice that is warm and soothes, and his energy which transcends all space and time. The values that I know he has of mine, his quirks and his mischievous smirks, all of him simply existing. He's always been helpful on my journey through this world. Some things he knows, and many he won't. Unfortunately, also, if maybe the anything I dislike of he is his lack of ability to keep this love from me, or to accept in the ways that allow me to show it. And I've learned over time that my love and my light, it's often overwhelming, too much to him, because he's never known it. It's a love that's strong, and it's a love that's true. Once someone knows that love, no other love will do. They may stay, and they may play, and they may take their time all over the world. They may never come back, they may not return. But you can also be sure that they will never be able to move on completely or forget entirely the love and the feelings that you've given. It just depends on how much work is given and done, and how much we dive within to heal our hearts and our hurts, the traumas and the difficulties. But all you can do is focus on you, continue to heal and rise, and do all that you can to be the best in your life. Call for help and support from the support of the angels, the archangels, and any that you feel a resonance to call on. And don't let this type of stuff sit too long on your mind. As for Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, and the Violet Flame, the galactic dragons, the white, the ancient, the fires of transmutation, I ask now for my power back from any and all directions. I am not open or allowing of harm to me and anyone that I love. I only sit in the light of illumination, and I send it down to the ground, to my shadow, and I do everything to create from love and flow and balance with love and passion. And any karmic soul or vessel, person, demon, any of the lower worlds, ugly, mean things, I demand now that you leave me and you go back to whoever be sending all of these things to me, and allow 3 times 3 times 3 return to my divine enemies, those that know and those that don't. Return to sender. I'm done with you. I no longer will be here taking or transmuting. I will no longer allow the pain you're sending. I will no longer sit back and see my life be impacted or taken or delayed because of your tactics. I am divine feminine, and you are dirt. You are dark. You are nothing. You are toxic and hurt. And I will no longer be resonating anywhere on your radars or your life. I will be out of the reaches of your harms and your alarms and the things that you do that just try to disarm my love, my joy, my passion, and my purpose. But do not forget how innately protected I am, and how much love and support that is gathered on all levels, dimensions, and spaces and times. It is not something that can easily be defined or seen or understood, but I trust and I know that I will be all good.